Greetings and salutations, everyone. I hope everyone is doing well today. And today I have a very, very interesting and important update out of Meeker, Colorado. Before we get into it, a couple links. As you know, I rely on Patreon, PayPal, and my merch to help the channel to continue to grow and go. The links to Patreon and PayPal are in the description below. My merch is displayed directly under the video. Also, Dogman Frightening Encounters, Volume 1 through 3, the audiobook versions. They were written and researched by Tom Lyons, narrated and produced by me, Jeff Nadolny. Those audiobooks are available on Audible, Amazon, and iTunes, the links to which are also in the description as well. And finally, last but definitely not least, if you'd really like to help support this channel to continue to grow and go, simply subscribe, click the like button, and please leave a comment. It really does help, and guys, it definitely matters. And now, everyone, I have taken far too much of your time. Let's get on with today's upload, shall we? Like I said, important info coming out of Meeker. The person that reached out to me the other day after hearing what I was talking about on the channel, he lives about 25 minutes outside of Meeker and wanted to share some very interesting information with me. He was hesitant at first, didn't want to do an interview, and I said, hey, we don't have to do an interview. Let's just talk. I can't blame him for being hesitant. We're talking about a very small populace of people in a very large area with a lot of government in that area. So let's get into it. A couple of days ago, I did an upload on some very strange cattle attacks out in Colorado, in Meeker, Colorado, to be exact. I'll just give you a quick replay of what has been going on because there's a lot. And a person reached out to me just the other day. We're going to call him Carl. Carl lives in White River City, which is about 25 minutes from Meeker, and where these cattle attacks are happening. And that's not his real name. He is very leery of sharing any more information about him. He lives there. He's grown up there. He's a permanent fixture. He's well known. We're talking about an area that at the most has 1,000 people. At the most. Really quick, I'm not singling anyone out, but there was a comment in the comment section about Carl, and someone had said, grow a pair, nothing's gonna happen to you, come on, share what you know, yada yada. That's not how we treat people in the comment section, guys. I don't want my comment section turning negative. And it's not even my comment section, it's your guys' comment section. But I don't want it turning negative. And I would appreciate it if people were treated with respect, because so many times that has happened to people who have shared and they don't want any part of it anymore. A perfect example, Kirk Stokes, what happened to him a long time ago. So no negativity. If someone is scared about coming on, that's fine. This guy has been dealing with this stuff firsthand, and he has a lot to share. I talked with him today for about an hour and a half. Super nice guy. But anyway, what's been going on here, and then we'll get into what he shared with me and an update from the news media. The original story from October 20th. This has been going on longer than October 20th. A number of calves have died south of Meeker, starting nearly 2 weeks ago. It has grown to 33, prompting questions as to whether disease, not wolves, caused their deaths. There is a news article, and I did put it in a pinned comment in the comment section of the video I did last time. I'm going to repin that. Now, what that means is if you're looking for the comment, you go to the top of the comment list all the way up, and it'll be right there. Some people were like, I can't find it. It's there. You've got to scroll. That's part of research. Research is getting deep, getting dirty, you know. And I'm not being a jerk about that, but the answers I'm giving you, the website, and people were like, I can't find it. It's there. I went back and looked, and I could find it like that. So it'll be reposted in the comment section, pinned, which means it's at the top of the comment section. So you guys can check out these photos. Warning you, they are graphic. That's why I'm not going to share them here, because I'm not getting this video taken down. There is no evidence of wolves attacking. So anyway, let's get back into it. Caused their deaths. Colorado Park and Wildlife confirmed the update death toll to the Coloradian Wednesday and said it's awaiting tests on the animals as part of the State Wildlife Agency investigation. On the 7th of October, the State Wildlife Agency announced it was investigating whether wolves were responsible for the deaths of the young cows after some showed injuries consistent with wolf depredation on White River National Forest lands near Meeker. An article by the Fence Post that day stated 18 head of 600-pound calves had been killed. Last week, Colorado Park and Wildlife told the Coloradian that a number of dead calves had grown to 22, with more injured. Ed Bangs, who oversaw the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service Gray Wolf Recovery Program in the Northern Rocky Mountains before retiring in 2011, said the pressure is on investigators to determine what happened, but that the agency should take its time and do a thorough investigation, especially given the polarizing and emotional nature of wolves. Once wolves get mentioned, it's pretty hard for them to get out of that story, and then it takes on a whole life of its own. Everyone needs to just breathe and let them figure it out. Banks said wolves killing that many cattle is very unusual, but that it could be a mix of wolves and something else. All right. Contrast that what has happened over the past 10 months in North Park. There are 8-member wolf pack near Walden that has been confirmed to kill 5 cows, 2 dogs, and 2 calves over a large area of Jackson County. Other wolf depredation claims by ranchers in the area have been denied by Colorado Park and Wildlife. Pretty much what they're saying is the ranchers are blaming these attacks on wolves. Wolves is always the scapegoat. We're talking about a 600-pound calf. These are not little milkers. These are big yearlings, probably, I'm guessing. These photos that you guys are going to see will honestly prove that there are no wolves doing this. On top of, at one point, get this article out real quick. At one point, they're trying to say that it was a disease. Hang on. Sorry. I've got so much paperwork on this that it's... All right, here it is. An update on apparent wolf depredation and cattle loss found near Meeker. This is from November 28th. So a full month has gone by since this article right here. As reported in the article from the 7th of October, 18 calves dead in a 1.5 mile area. Investigation performed by Colorado Parks and Wildlife Services pointed to wolf depredation. Several carcasses had tails missing, marks consistent with canine teeth. Carcasses had hemorrhaging in locations where investigators are trained to look when distinguishing canine depredation from that of a bear or a lion. After a long day of necropsis, we spent time together trying to consider any other possible cause of death. Then they get down to, in the following days, we continued our annual gathering back to the ranch headquarters, fall shipping. Along the way, we started finding dead calves every few miles. At this point, we brought the veterinarian to help. These investigations brought in the black leg, which is a disease. As we researched the black leg and outbreaks in other regions of the world with large casualties, some similarities of the situation were recognized. The spores are harmless to the animal until wounds and trauma or bruising damage the muscle tissue. And the way the environment is created, it's favorable for spores to begin their vegetative growth. Spores remain dormant until poorly understood triggering events occur, which may include tissue damage or traumatic injury. So pretty much what these guys are saying is we're going to blame it on black leg and a couple of other very, one is, I think they called it high altitude sickness or something like that. The black leg, which is a bacteria, and then, give me 1 second. Yeah, here it is. Using research and experience. Good news is that if in fact blackleg is triggered by the attack. Listen, when you see these pictures, the attack, once these cows were attacked, they're dead. There's no, they may have some bacteria may set in as the animal is dead and lying there. Because, first of all, just because we call them dogmen doesn't mean they're canine. We don't know if they're canine. We have no clue, really. They look like a dog, so we'll call them a dog. A zebra looks like a horse, but it's a zebra. They may carry a lot of bacteria in their mouths when they attack. Chances are they do. Perfect example. The attacks, Amber and, my brain, I've been focusing on this for so long. Amber Miller and Tony Aarons. Both, Tony Aarons was killed on scene, but Amber Miller had sepsis from these attacks. But yet they were dogs. Dogs have an antiseptic quality in their mouths, which we all know. So then they say that it could be, there's no evidence of necrosis or active inflammation to suggest blackleg. So in the same thing, they're saying in the same article that they're saying that it's not wolves, but it may be blackleg. They're then saying, no, it's not blackleg. And then they go further and say it's high altitude sickness or something like that, which it affects cattle. How do you beat that? Well, cattle have to be specially bred in order to not get this sickness. So pretty much none of it makes sense. You know, here's a perfect example. The bull S that's going on in this is almost like in Lipin, Texas. Not similar in the cases, but similar in the BS that is getting thrown to the public. Okay, Christopher Whiteley was attacked, killed he was torn apart by a very strange circumstance, not by a dog, not by a cat, large cat, mountain lion, but yet Fish and Game said that it was not a mountain lion. Sheriff said it was a mountain lion, and nobody could get their facts straight. They just kept throwing ideas because they didn't know. Or they did know and they didn't want to tell us, which that's what I'm thinking it is. They know right when they have someone come from Parks and Wildlife, DNR, whoever, Department of Natural Resources, for those of you who do not know what DNR is, come out, look, and say, we already know what this is. There are certain people that are trained within these organizations. I don't believe they train everybody because it'd be hard to keep the lid on stuff that way. So they train X amount, but those people are brought in when things are real weird. Like, let's say John goes and looks at this case. John works with Fish and Wildlife. He goes and looks at these cattle. He takes the pictures, and I'm urging you to go and look. The website will be pinned comment at the top. I'll also put it in the description of the video too. So it's going to be in two places in this video. Go look at the photos. John goes see these animals like that. And John's like, wow, what the heck? I've never seen anything like this. This doesn't fit a mountain lion. It does not fit a bear, and it does not fit a wolf. But the attack kind of looks canine, but the teeth marks are much further apart. In these photos, you can see some of the bite marks between canine are like that. 6 inches, 5 to 6 inches apart. That's a huge muzzle. That's not a wolf. Wolves are big, but they're not that big. Okay, so that's the gist of what's been going on. All right. That's what I shared with you the other day. Here's an update since I shared that video. And at that point in the video, people were saying wolves, blackleg, or high altitude sickness. Mystery cattle deaths in Colorado stump investigators. Officials scratching our heads over death of 40 bovine since October that lack telltale signs of wolf attack. Investigators in Colorado have been left baffled after dozens of cattle inexplicably dropped dead in a remote corner of the state. When you see these pictures, you'll realize why I just threw that paper. I am right now. That's the media is the worst at this game. It's like they really honestly think that all of America are dumb. They really do. The mystery has triggered a wave of U.S. press coverage, with the New York Post running a headline claiming cattle slaughtered by mysterious creature that left no tracks. That's what it is. We're across the freaking country and we know what it is. You guys know what it is. When you see those pictures, you're going to know what it is. And I'm not saying that the reporters are any different in New York, but there might be a few of them that have a little common sense. About 40 calves and cows, and that's another thing. They keep saying calves in all these other all these other articles. About 40 cows and calves have been found dead near the town of Meeker in northwest Colorado in the past 2 months. Wolves were initially blamed for the death, but Colorado Parks and Wildlife officials have since said that only 5 of the deceased cattle show wolf-related injuries. The investigation has since focused on whether the cows have been infected with a deadly bacteria, but post-mortem have revealed no evidence of that either. No evidence. The saga is perplexing, Travis Black, CPW, Northwest Regional Manager, told Parks Commission in mid-November, Colorado Parks and Wildlife. We're scratching our heads a little bit. You're scratching your ass doing nothing. That's what you're doing. We don't know exactly what has occurred up here. Yeah, okay, Travis. At the time, CPW officials thought wolves had slaughtered the animals, but as the number of dead continued to grow, it emerged that only 5 showed half marks of wolf attack, described as Black as missing tails, bite marks, hocks, and flanks, and hamstrings. There is no evidence of these wolves had returned to their prey, which Black said was unusual. Then it's not wolves, idiot. We have no evidence of wolves in the area, he says once again. But this idiot boy keeps saying wolves. Sometimes wolves can be difficult to locate. Yeah, especially when it's not a wolf, idiot. Sorry. CPR News reported that wildlife officials are monitoring a wolf family based in Jackson County, but the wolves' territory is 100 miles from the location. Is it like, do they, when these people, here's something, guys. Please, if any of you guys are of age and have a want to go and become a park ranger or please do. Because the lacking of these people are missing chromosomes. Officials have also investigated whether the cattle have a bacteria infection. Certain bacteria can lie dormant in the cow before aggravating it by stress situations, such as being hunted by wolves and dogs. Black said investigation would continue and admitted it can take time to find evidence of wolves, but as it stands, there is no explanation for the death of the cattle, and we are not going to jump to conclusions. Mystery creature, no tracks. What's that tell you? It could be a Dogman. It could be a Bigfoot. It's not a Bigfoot. When you see these photos, guys, I really honestly wish. But I want you guys to see this video. I want more people to see this video. And I don't want it to get taken down. But these photos they are bad. They are really, the majority of you guys who have seen them were like, once you saw them, people were like, that's not a bacteria. That's not wolves. All right. Now. These news articles. This is a little information that I jotted down from Carl. All right, so this is what Carl has shared with me. He lives in White River City. Now, White River City is here. All right, Meeker is kind of like here. Route 64 kind of travels at a weird kind of, it's not straight. There's an expanse of land between, it's just huge. Perfect ranching area. Where to start? So, this is, Carl said, Jeff, this has been going on a lot longer than October. Hang on a second, I gotta let my cat out. Man, he's annoying. He comes in, comes out. Ugh. So, Jeff, this has been going on a lot longer than what the news is telling us, telling you guys. I'll just start from where in the middle of summer, he was horseback riding with his son and his daughter. That's what they do. He's very stressed. He said, I stressed out a lot. He said, I go horseback riding to de-stress. So they are in the area of Rio Blanco Lake State Wildlife Area, a place they go often. They hear 3 gunshots. He automatically knows that it is a rifle. He's grown up here all his life. He's never left this area except for when he was in the military. He's a rancher himself. He has rifles. He knows what the percussion of a rifle sounds like. They're almost heading towards where that sound is coming from. They kind of beeline it away from the sound and just continue their ride. They, about 45 minutes in their horseback riding, they come up to a clearing where there is 5 men. They're dressed in black pants with a sandy colored t-shirt. 4 of the men have balaclavas on. Their faces are covered. One is clean shaven, cropped hair. He sees Carl and his kids and walks up to them. Stops them right there. Hey, stop. Don't come any further. Get out of here. Carl looks at the guy and says, hey, there's no hunting here, pal. He can see a large animal about 200 feet away from him. He can't make it out because he's here, his daughter's here, the guy's here. His son had come up like this, so his son is sitting here. So the kids and the guy is here. So he's looking. He's like, bam, he can see what it is. Carl's like, I'm going to call law enforcement. There's no hunting here. And when it is hunting season, you can only hunt rabbit or waterfowl. What are you doing? The guy looks at Carl and says, go ahead and call law enforcement. Get that out of here or you're going to have problems. The son looks at Carl and says, Dad, let's just go. So they leave. As they're going back to their home, the son says, Dad, that, I don't know what that was, but it looked like a 400-pound husky, dark gray, dead. I have never seen anything that big, Dad, to be a dog. And Carl kind of just shakes it off. Like, maybe my kid saw something that mistook something, right? About this time, too, they're starting to notice, he can recall maybe 4 to 5 times seeing black helicopters flying low to the ground. He's back in that area. He said it was 2 days after the 4th of July. He said, I remember it because I had gone horseback riding from the 4th till that day. And because family stuff, and he was just stressed, so he went. He said that about 2 football fields away, north of him. He saw something bipedal walking, kind of a ridge. He said, I know it's not a human because it was far too big. I could clearly see that it was walking on 2 feet and bigger than a human being. He said, no sooner had he that's not a human, did this thing drop on all fours and shoot away. He doesn't think it noticed him. He just thinks it was doing its thing. So then Carl, as they're noticing these helicopters, this kill team that's there too, his buddy owns a gun shop in town, in Meeker. He's going to pick up some rounds, and he's going to go to the convenience store. So he said it's about 1.5 miles, but they've got to pass, after the gun shop, he's got to pass Colorado Parks and Wildlife Office on 64. It's not, I'm telling you, this town is small. They're very small to go to the convenience store. It's called Come and Go or something like that. As he's sitting there or driving, he passes this. He looks into the Parks and Wildlife, and he sees 4 state trooper cars, 2 or 3 sheriffs, and they're all outside talking. And he sees a large SUV blacked out, but these 5 men all just converged in the parking lot of the Colorado Parks and Wildlife. And he's like, that's weird, right? Goes to the convenience store and starts talking to the guy that's there, because once again, small town, everyone knows each other. The guy says, Carl says, hey, what's going on? Now this is before the cattle is in the news. These people are here, and I saw these guys, they shot something earlier, last 2 weeks ago. What do you know? To his buddy. And his buddy knows. He goes, I seen them come in. He said they rolled into town, got some gas, and left. He said they didn't come in, they just left. He then says, have you noticed anything? I've noticed the helicopters. And that's when the cattle attacks started happening more and more, and kind of getting some publicity. Now, a couple of things that popped into my head as I was talking to Carl and after was, I've had a Colorado subscriber reach out to me. He now lives in Arizona. He was a sheriff's deputy, and he had a run-in with a small pack of dogmen. There was a kill team that came in, very similar to what Carl explained to me. So the kill team's there. I'm like thinking about this case, and I remember the sheriff's deputy saying that the guy had a southern accent, and I forgot to ask Carl if he had a southern accent. I thought about that tonight. Now, another thing that's going on is, this is prime time hunting season for dogmen. All right. I've been looking into these cases for 3 years now. Not Colorado, but Brenda Hamilton, Corey Godsey. I can keep going. Animal attacks up the yin yang. And if you go back and listen to my old government media cover up, you'll hear the dates and everything. And I purposely say it. Right now is hot spot. So you got late September, October to late March, early April is Dogman hunting season. And I said this to Carl, actually. And I said, be careful when you're on your horse. He's not going riding anymore. He's too afraid. So you've got this massive time of year that these dogmen will attack. I guarantee it, guys. We're going to start seeing more stuff out of Colorado, and we're going to start seeing some stuff up north and all throughout the country. It'll probably get blamed on bear and or wolf or mountain lions. So it's a hot spot. I said, dude, be careful. All right. Please keep me in the loop if you see any more. He's not feeling comfortable, and I can't blame him because I'm not in that location. I'm not, and I can see it, and I'm like, dude, if that was me and I was I wouldn't want to come on my show either. So we've got a hot spot time of year, and something else I wanted to share. If there isn't a cover up going on, I went and looked Meeker, Colorado up. I looked for updates to these stories, you know. And there was a article that I wanted to read, and it was from the Wild Earth Guardians from 3 weeks ago. Misinformation is hurting Colorado wolves. Missing. I went to click on it. The article is gone. It just brings you to Wild Earth Guardians website. That article is no longer in existence. When the government starts deleting articles when they start censoring our First Amendment, things are not good in Colorado. It's about all I've got for you on this update. I'm keeping Carl in my prayers. I'm keeping his family in my prayers. I'm keeping the town of Meeker in my prayers. And I want to thank everybody for all your support. It really does mean the world to me that you guys are here supporting me and giving me the ambition. You guys help provide the ambition to look into these cases so I can share this news with you guys. So thank you. And with that, may the Great Spirit watch over us all. And may He guide us down that path that we call life. Stay safe if you're going out in the woods, if you're going snowshoeing, cross-country skiing, whatever. Bring protection. Stay safe, everyone. And thank you once again.